Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Zanthyst Gaming. Many of you are eagerly awaiting Alpha 19 to drop, or maybe you're a time traveler and you're watching this in the future and it has just dropped. Either way, here are 5 quick tips for success in Alpha 19 that we learned while streaming this weekend. Speaking of which, feel free to check out the VODs for both single player and multiplayer streams on this channel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into this. Alright, tip number 1. There's a new critical injury system in the game. Hunger and other random obscure things no longer affect max HP. Instead, when you get hit, you can get a debuff that is related to how you were hit and where you were hit. These debuffs temporarily limit your max HP until cured. Open up your inventory and click on the debuff by your health bars to see what it is and how to treat it. Many useless items have now been made useful as ways to treat injuries. For instance, first aid bandages fix lacerations, but so do sewing kits. Sewing kits didn't used to do this, but now they do. Sewing kits will also stop bleeding. Vitamins can be used to fix fatigue and add extra disease resistance as always. Pain pills will not only restore health, but also help you fix concussions, which can periodically stun you as you move around. Big pain in the butt. Splints and casts, of course, will help treat sprains and broken bones. Either way, make sure you're keeping things on you that can help cure these debuffs. If you are running, jumping, or doing things on your injured body part that would normally make it worse in real life, it will increase the recovery time or the severity of the injury. So if I have a broken leg and I splint it, it now has a recovery time of 39 minutes. But if I'm running around and I'm jumping, every time I jump, you can see it blinks a little bit and it adds a little bit of recovery time. You can actually make your recovery time go up quite a bit by doing this and making your injury worse. So please be wary that using that body part that is injured and doing harsh actions like power attacks, running, and jumping with it will make recovery time take much, much longer. You'll know you're doing something wrong because the icon will blink if you're doing something wrong. Tip number 2 is about game stage progression and loot that drops. The game is now limited in what can drop from zombies, gun safes, lootable containers, and so on based on your game stage. You're very unlikely to see guns in the early game, other than maybe a blunderbuss, until you hit game stage of at least 11 or 12. That said, in the streamer version, there was a bug where it was happening more than intended, and you could buy them from the trader, so keep your eyes peeled for that, though they're likely to have fixed it in the future, or soon after the public experimental release. If you need to know your game stage, simply go into your inventory, and then click the little players icon up here, and it'll show you what your game stage is. Note that this is a testing world, so my game stage is insane. By the time I hit the first horde, I was like game stage 35 on my streams, and by the time I hit the second horde, I was like game stage 55, 60. But I was doing a lot of killing inside of POIs, so your mileage may vary. The next tip number 3, is that mining is very, very hard in Alpha 19, or at least it was in the streamer version. They may tune this back a little bit, but using mining tools very quickly drains your stamina and hunger. You can help be proactive to counteract this by bringing in things to buff yourself. While mining, I would recommend drinking coffee or a beer, red tea, and eating cooked food, as well as taking a harvesting candy, so that when you're harvesting something other than clay, you get more resources, more bang for your buck. Make sure to bring plenty of food with you while you're mining as well. Another thing you can do to help this is help alleviate this issue is making sure that you grab all of the cobblestone and cement that you can while you're going through the POIs in order to minimize the amount of mining that you have to do. Again, if you drink food and you eat, or if you eat food and you drink red tea or coffee and take your mining drops while mining, it will help a lot with your stamina regeneration. This guy's being annoying and rude. How dare he? So after you've taken your stamina drops and you've eaten your things, your regeneration of your stamina is much higher, and how much you mine is much better as well. There you go. You can see the effect of it as you're going. My stamina is draining a lot less, and I'm able to make through quite a bit more mining while I'm working. The food also gives me a max stamina buff so that I can mine for a little bit longer without having to stop. Note also that your mining tool is affected by quality level more now than it was before, so quality level does matter on items. Tip number 4 is that candy is very important. The new candy system makes a big difference. Always check vending machines for candy, and whenever you are trying to pick locks, bring jailbreakers with you. In fact, I would recommend bringing a full stack in with you anytime you can, or as many as you can possibly bring. This can really reduce the number of lockpicks you use. Also, if you're doing a big POI like a factory, bring oh shit drops with you so you can just drop off the end at the end without taking any damage or having to run back through the dungeon. It saves you a lot of time. If you're going to the trader, please make sure you eat sugar butts before you do so, because you'll get a 10% better deal on your sales and your purchases, which can actually add up to thousands of dukes. So checking the vendor for sugar butts before you go in can make a really big difference in how much dukes you're spending or earning. The last tip is that pathing exploits are likely to be fixed in the near future. They've already fixed a lot of the looping base issues, and they intend to fix a lot more in the future. Anything that makes your base impossible to get to, such as force fields using arrow slits or the slippery slope tricks, will probably not work in the future, as the devs have stated that they are actively trying to patch out as many of them as possible. I personally had some conversations with someone who's in charge of helping find these bugs and hunt them down, and he let me know that they have already tried to fix the arrow slit and the slippery slope bug, and they are currently working on many of the looping pathing base issues. So don't invest too heavily in these bases for your Horde Knight defenses. Instead, consider doing some sort of fallback base or things like that, which don't heavily abuse AI on the zombies, and you're likely not to have wasted as many resources that way. All right, I hope these tricks have been helpful for you. Hope these tips have been helpful for you, and you have lots of fun in Alpha 19. It's really, really good, and I'm sure you're going to have a good time. If you like this content, please make sure you subscribe for future content, as well as smash that like button, leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought. And either way, thank you for your time, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye, YouTube. Bye, Reddit.